And you're listening to cheesy new introduction music. Welcome to planet5D.com, breaking news. Hi, Planet Mitch from planet5D.com with breaking news from Canon. They've just announced the Rebel T4i, also called the 650D, and has probably got some KISS name for the folks over in Japan. They've also announced 2 new lenses to go with the T4i that work hand in hand with the new cool autofocus and video mode. So there's 2 really cool features on this that we're going to get to, and this is, so number 1 is the new autofocus in video, and number 2 is that it is a touchscreen LCD, which is really cool, and I wish it was on the 5D Mark III. Alright, so let's give you a couple of overview things. The 2 new lenses are, the first one's called the 18-135, and it's got a range of f-stops depending upon where you are in the zoom. It's at f3.5 or 5 through 5.6, so it's not a super fast lens, but it does have IS on it, which is image stabilization if you haven't heard that term. And then they've also announced the 40mm f2.8, which is a much faster speed lens, called a pancake lens. It's very thin. I'm going to show you that in just a minute. Both of them also have this new acronym called STM, which stands for Stepping Motor Technology. Now, why that's not SMT, which would be Stepping Motor Technology, get it? As opposed to STM, which is Stepping, ST for Stepping Motor? I don't know. Anyway. The body alone is $849.99, which is also available at B&H Photo right now on pre-order. If you want the basic kit with the 18-55mm, and that's an older lens, that's not one of the 2 new ones, it's $949.99. If you want it with the new 18-135, however, which they're calling the movie kit bundle, then that's going to set you back $1,199 and no cents. Why this one doesn't have 99 cents on the end, I don't know. All right, so this is sort of in the same marketplace as the Nikon D3200, which I think also lists at $699. So it's about $150 more than the Nikon entry, and it's also $150 more than the T3i, which is still in the market. They have nixed the T2i, so if you want that, you might be able to get a pretty good discount on that in the next couple of months because it's going away. Alright, so let's dive into the features of the new Rebel T4i. Here you see the blog announcement page for the T4i on planet5D.com. Notice the slick new sidebar where you can tweet this or post it on Pinterest or Google Plus or like it on Facebook. Please help us. That will help spread the word about planet5D.com. All right. So here's what the T4i looks like just as a body with no lens. You can see that it looks pretty much like the T3i. Okay, big deal. All right, so there's the articulating screen. Let me get that out of the way. So it doesn't have a little image on it at all in this particular capture that we have. And oh, by the way, if you want to read the whole press release, it's right here. Basic functions of stills mode. It's an 18 megapixel sensor, although I understand it's improved over what the T3i was. 18 megapixels is the same as the T3i and the 7D. So we're not in a megapixel race here, and 18 megapixels should do very well for most entry-level people. It has a Digit 5 processor. I've already mentioned that it has the touch screen, which we'll get into in just a minute. The base ISO range is pretty good. It's 100 to 12,800, which is expandable to 25,600. Other nice thing if you're a still shooter is that it does 5 frames per second. I almost said 6. The Canon 5D Mark III, which is a $3,500 camera, does 6 frames per second. So 5 frames per second is pretty rocking. I want to show you the touch screen and how cool it is. Here's a demo video that I've found. I haven't seen too many yet. We didn't get our hands on this particular camera yet. But you see it's very simple to switch in the menus. They're showing the intro menu, and I really, really wish that we had this on the 5D Mark III. Here's another one that I didn't reload. Notice you can swipe through when playback between the images, and you can pinch to zoom. So this is very much iPhone-like or cell phone-like, where you can pinch and zoom, and you have these cool multi-touch functions. This one is really kind of cool. Come here, lady. There you go. So you can see going through the menus with simple touch. I've been doing some testing of a new flash unit, and on the 5D Mark III you have to press the menu button, then you have to pick the menu that enables the flash, and then you have to use the scroll wheel to enable it or disable it, and then press the set button. And I would kill for a touch screen on the 5D Mark III. Now, why didn't they put the touch screen? The 5D Mark III was released a short 2 months ago. I don't know why you couldn't have put that on there. I'm wondering if they think that pro users don't want a touch screen. And if that's true, Canon, let me give you a clue. We do. I'd love to have a touch screen on the 5D Mark III. Let me say that one more time. All right, let's dive into the video functions. One of the things that none of the other cameras have is a stereo microphone built in. Notice on the top of the camera, and I'm going to be curious as to how well this works, there are 2 microphones. Why they're not on the front of the camera pointing forwards, I don't know. I suspect that it has to do with getting away from the noise of the lens, which is the other reason why these 2 new lenses have that STM on there. The stepping motor technology allows them to smoothly and quote-unquote silently focus. So if you want some of this really new cool autofocus functionality on the T4i, come on tongue, then you'll want to have these 2 new lenses in order to really make that happen. You can still manually focus, of course, with the manual lenses. But anyway, so that's why I'm pretty sure the microphone is on the top. Now that's, the 5D Mark III also has, by the way, a mono mic built in. There is still a plug for the stereo external mic if you want to plug that in. And there's a 64 level manual audio control on the T4i. And you'll notice here there's also an on, an off, and a movie mode switch. So that's moved here. It's not just a separate item on the dial. It's now a separate physical switch. So it's right there. One question that we don't know an answer to at this point is whether or not Moray is... I always twist my tongue over that word too. We don't know anything about the Moray on the new T4i. We don't know how improved that is yet. Dying to get our whole hands on this. Additional functionality. It takes SDHC and SDXC cards, it has one slot, so it's not a dual card slot like the 5D Mark III. But also notice that it doesn't have the new XQD that the Nikon D4 brought about, and so your traditional SD cards will work. It has lens aberration correction. It has 7 creative filters, whereas the the T3i had only 5, and the new ones are an art bold effect and a water painting effect, which many of us go ahead and get in Photoshop. But if you're someone who's not experienced in Photoshop, it would be really nice to use some of these art effects. And as I recall from using the T3i, you can save the original photo plus saving the art effect, the creative filter, and so you get the ability to have both images, so you don't trash the image. They've also added HDR backlight control, which I'm believing is sort of like the iPhone mode, in that it will take 3 photos really fast and merge them into a higher dynamic range image. I don't see anything about being able to keep the separate images like on the 5D Mark III, so I'm suspecting it's like the mode in the iPhone and the other cameras. It also has something that they're calling multi-shot noise reduction, which we don't have any sample of yet. It takes 4 photos, one after another, in sequence very quickly, and it merges them, and you're using that to reduce the noise in low light situations. And I've sort of jumped ahead on my laptop there to show you the pancake lens, but I'm not quite ready for that yet. The last thing that's kind of significant, and I haven't found a whole lot of information about it yet, is the ability to create a photo book. Oh, and there's also the ability in videos to sort of combine 2 or 3 videos into one to create something that's easy to edit and upload to something like YouTube later on. But the photo book has the ability to select a folder or images and somehow, which we don't know yet, create a physical book that you can print. I don't know whether that's something you print locally on your own machine, or we're going to send that off somewhere like iBooks does. Not iBooks, but the iPhoto Books feature. All right, so I wanted to cover the pancake lens as well. We've teamed up with Canon Rumors, by the way, to Canon Rumors decided that they wanted to do something for a charity called, I'm going to scroll down, called the Big Life Foundation, which is working to save the elephants in Africa. And so Craig over at Canon Rumors, and here's the pancake lens, by the way. You notice how very thin it is. Craig decided that he wanted to do something for the elephants, and so for the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, all commissions that he gets for referring people to the pre-order for this lens will go to the Big Life Foundation. And so planet5D has also included links, and so we're not taking any affiliate commission. So if you want to buy this, pre-order it. We're using Craig's affiliate links, and therefore you can support that foundation if you would like to do so. People love pancake lenses. They're really thin. They're high quality. This one's $200, by the way, if you want to buy it by itself. The 18 to 135 is $549 all by itself. The pancake is available to purchase, by the way, right now, like I said, on B&H Photo as well as Adorama, and we have links to those on our blog post. And we do appreciate you purchasing through our links. So all you have to do is, whenever you see, for example, on the planet5D side, we've got these links. All you have to do is click through to that, Click that one, for example, and a little cookie gets put on your computer, and when you do add to cart, we get a small commission for that, which helps feed my family and my cats. All right, so that's the overview. Is this a killer camera? Well, oh, I forgot to mention, let's talk about that autofocus feature, by the way. The Engadget website said that the camera still does a bit of focus hunting while recording video. And so with the new lenses, it appears to be much better in terms of being able to focus on things during live view. But we'll really have to get our hands on it and see how well that really works. PDN, Dan over at PDN, by the way, said the touch focus on the LCD screen in live view was quick and fairly accurate, and you saw that kind of happen in that video. The touch tracking feature in both stills and video seems that it will help consumers enjoy photography and HD video much more. That's from PDN Photo. PDNonline.com. Sorry, Dan. So I think this is a very, very good camera entry level. It's well worth the extra $150 over the T3i and probably over the Nikon D3200, which does not have the articulating screen or the touch screen. So relatively speaking, the HD video hasn't had any major improvements in it. But the functionality of the camera body itself and the articulating screen look really cool. And so I think many people are going to be excited by the T4i as we are. Thanks for watching Planet 5D. Tune in every day as we give you a whole bunch of news about HDSLRs, or DSLRs that shoot video, as we like to call them, HDSLRs, and I don't remember even where the H came from back in the old day. But come to planet5d.com. Please subscribe to our news. If you come to the blog and see that pop up, put in your name and email, and you'll get that news sent to you every day in one email. So we consolidate all the stories in one news email. And so thanks for supporting planet5d.com.